What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action, but not any Age of Mythology retold action. This is the winners finals of the $10,000 Mythic Wars Age of Mythology S-tier tournament. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Hades. His name is Boit. And his opponent today, in the red color, none other than Greece's very own Aces the Rapple, as he is going to be playing as Ra. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not got a tasty beverage in hand, if you have not got a 2 hours, 3 hours of snack supplies ready, what are you doing? Get over there. Make it happen. We've got a best of 7 on our hands. These two players are going to be duking it out until the sun rises in some places around the world. I'm not going to say which places. It might be my backyard. I don't know. But until the sun rises. Boit here, he's going to be going for a fast vault of Erebus. This is the stock standard build, and he is doing it. He does skip the storehouse, which is, I think, actually incorrect. I don't see any point in not in skipping the storehouse, but we're seeing that here from Boit as he continues around on the other side here. Rapple doing his thing on the boars. Gets himself a house down over on this side. Am I wrong? Is skipping the storehouse correct? Did I get it wrong? Ah, Boit is wrong. Okay, good. All right. Wrong! Oh, these are the two of the best players currently playing, and he doesn't even know the build order. Ah! Yes! Let's go. Let's go. All right. But a spicy matchup here. Now, in my experience here, the difficulty of playing Hades against Egyptian is mostly in securing gold mines. This map here, though, Boit gets an extra 1,500 gold in his main base, which is a huge amount. However, as soon as that's up, he has to get into the center of the map and start fighting, which is something that the Hades player will not want to do. So what's the answer here? Are we going to see some sort of 2-town center fast, like 2-town center classical fight to try and get to the center of the map, to try and be mining super early, so then he can then go, okay, you're going to have your power spike. Let me pull back into my main base and mine the rest of this gold. At the moment, Boit isn't mining any. He doesn't need to. He's taking a late advance here for the time being. Walls coming up already. Bast, they got a choice here for the Rapple. He needs a power spike. He doesn't need shifting sands. Never mind. A mistake from Rapple. He says, I want shifting sands. He says, I want shifting sands. I'm actually a little surprised on this. Bast makes a lot of sense. Not necessarily for the Sphinx, but for the Petsukos that you might want to make. But he also might want to go through Citadel, or Citadel Sekhmet, so that he can then get himself access to very, very quick catapult. Meanwhile, Boit here, he's going for Ares. Ares makes sense here over Athena to some degree. The idea is going to be, well, let me make a whole bunch of Cyclops, potentially, or even just using Pestilence to allow him to actually take a fight underneath a billion Migdol strongholds. Meanwhile, the Ajax out, going to be searching for a little something on the map. Monument soldiers coming down for the Rapple over on this side. We see a granary coming up. What is this granary, though? I wish I understood it, but I don't. A barracks coming down for the Rapple. He's going for... Is he legitimately going for a barracks? Or is this mind games to kick the series off? There's no restoration for Boit. The obelisk is coming up. And this could spell some difficulties to come in for Boit if he wants to go for a town center. He's got the resources for it. And it's a village center. It is a village center. Absolutely wild. Rappel on the other hand says, oh. He saw the village center. He saw it with the obelisk over here. He's getting a village center himself. I'm shook. This is so obscenely dangerous from the Rappel. So obscenely dangerous. There's Cyclops. There's Cyclops. And there's Cyclops. The village center is 1200 HP. Even with like 5 priests out, 3 cycles probably finish it off. But is this mind games? Kavoth, he's scouting. He hasn't seen the village center. What's Rappel doing? He doesn't know. He's got to go find out very, very quickly here. He's got no idea. Spearman, he spots some spearmen. This could be really, really detrimental to Kavoth's plan here. Seeing these spearmen, the Cyclops coming in, going to be retreating away from those. Nice play from Rappel. The Pegasus coming through, spotting villagers on wood. The armory up. To Kavoth, this is looking like a one town center all in. But we know Rappel has seen this village center, has his own village center, and we know this is not that at all. Why would Kavoth go into the center here? An armory coming down, a market coming down. Kavoth's going, lol, what are you doing, Rappel? I'm not scared of a one town center all in. I got 4,500 gold in my bank, plus I've got Vaults of Erebus. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Meanwhile, Rappel charges in with a handful more spearmen. And Kavoth's got to be feeling uneasy about this. He's checking another settlement over here. He sees nothing there. Rappel's going to be going to the next stage very quickly. He's eating pigs on this village center. The Achilles coming forward. Going to be checking out the town center from the top. Still hasn't checked this position. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Age of Mythology. This is mind games. This is what it's about. The Pegasus now coming over, checking, still not seeing what's coming for him. I don't think he's going to see it. He flies over here. He still hasn't seen the barracks. He sees the villagers on the food. It's an incredibly late heroic age. Is it going to be enough though? Look at the villager differential. It's still 4 villager advantage for Kavoth here, plus, or 5 villager advantage, plus Kavoth has got himself Vaults of Erebus. But Rappel's in the middle already. He's going Sekhmet. He can't Citadel the village center, unfortunately. Military Academy archery range coming down. The Achilles still searching. He still hasn't spotted this. He's now coming to the middle. Too little, too late. Heroic age is in. Pegasus will see exactly what he's been wondering for this entirety of this. Oh! Wadjet comes. He denies. He still doesn't know. Wait. He still doesn't know. He doesn't know. Maybe he knows. Maybe he guesses. The Achilles coming forward, wanting to see what's happening here. Siege works coming up for the Rappel. The camel rider's starting to zoom in here. Some pigs getting pulled back. Farms are up already for Kavoth. That's painful. Siege works coming down. Rappel's got 2 monuments. He's going to be able to go straight for catapult here. Get the priest, empower up the siege works, speed the upgrade in, start making catapult. Watchtowers coming through for Kavoth. Pickaxe, couple of manticore, hoplites, toxotes. Still no citadel coming down for Rappel. He could have been catching up on this villager differential for the time being. And we do see force of the west wind, but Rappel not empowering. So this does take 90 seconds without empowerment. If you empower it with a pharaoh, it comes in like 45 seconds or even faster maybe. There's the priest coming in. Crenellation's coming through. Kavoth thinks Rappel is 1 town center here. He thinks he doesn't have to do anything and he just wins. He's spamming units, but he thinks he just has to sit here for full pop and just wait. Rappel's wandering forward with a tiny army for being 1 town center, but a tiny army nonetheless. The Scarab will be able to take out this watchtower, but at what cost? Kavoth pops out. No. He pulls. He's going to lose. He should have taken the tower out. He does pull. First blood kind of drawn for Kavoth. Citadel now coming down as Rappel realizes the villagers moving forward. Migdol stronghold onto this side. The underworld passage coming in. The only position that Rappel doesn't see on this spot. The only one he doesn't see, but doesn't matter. He's going to have catapult. He's immediately starting to produce them. A fortress coming through. Migdol up onto this side. Villagers pulling back onto the gold mine. Rappel sees it. He sees the underworld. He's going to have the siege works. But he's only got 1 Migdol stronghold. Is that enough here? No, he's got 2, excuse me. He's got 2. Is that enough here for him to produce and beat this Hades army? Remember, just because Kavoth doesn't know doesn't mean that Kavoth isn't also spamming units here. Gets 1 shot off with the catapult, almost taking the Migdol or the fortress out. Zom coming through a huge amount of manticore in. Rappel trying to pull back. Fighting underneath this one. There's the pestilence to come through. Rappel may just need to pull back here. Good garrison control here from the Rappel. He doesn't have that safety of... Wait. Hang on. Did he miss the Migdol? Am I crazy? Did he miss it? No. I can't tell. It's hit that. Hello? Surely he hit it. I don't see any arrows coming out. But I don't know. Pestilence. 22 seconds from completion here. As the Migdol stronghold looking like it will fall. And those manticore, absolutely brutal. After all is said and done, it doesn't matter. The Kavoth doesn't know what he's fighting against, because what he's doing here is brutal. As Rappel now down to 61. We still got a villager lead here, actually. Priest getting sniped. Village center going to go down. Villagers over here going to be falling. Kavoth actually isn't building villages from 2 town centers at the moment. He's forgotten the other town center. Kind of happy that this is happening to everyone else. Not just me. Not just me. Meanwhile, a couple more priests to come out here in order to try and take out these manticore. A little bit of a misplay there from Kavoth. Doesn't hit The big chariot ball. But the Migdol stronghold will go down pretty quickly here to those Petropoli. On the back, villagers getting pulled. Need to repair this one back up. The Manticore come through. Another Migdol on the back here. No gold in the bank right now for the Rapple. He's got 72 favor here. The Manticore going after the villagers. The priests trying to get the damage done. A handful of Toxotes and priests to take him out. And Rapple taps out. And Kavoth manages to break through the defensive position of the Rapple. I don't even know what happened. It was going well. And then it wasn't. Rapple misread the Mantic or didn't have enough priests out. And they did absolute work there. But a well-played game from Kavoth. Managing to make it work. He just went down his strategy. Regardless of the village center. Regardless of what he thought was coming for him. Maybe he scouted the tiles and guessed. I don't know. But regardless, he was terrified. He got watchtowers. He got Kren. But it wasn't enough. Takes Rapple out in game one. Moving to game number 2. And see if Rapple can figure this one out. A nice attempt at mind games in the first one. But not enough to take out the Titan that is Kavoth. As we get into game number 2 shortly. And we're back with game number 2. In the left-hand corner of the map. Spawning in as the blue Shenong. His name is Kavoth. Rapple on the top side of the map. In the red color. Playing as Kronos. The map. Ice Arena. As we motor through this series. First game going to Kavoth. An absolutely wild game of mind games and craziness. Ending very, very suddenly with one fight in the center of the map. Will we see something change here in this next game? A completely different matchup. It's going to be Kronos versus Shenong. Kronos does have a little bit of scariness up his sleeves. He's got Valor to protect against any sort of myth unit raids. He's got Behemoth to push and break through any sort of defensive position. There's also a little bit of a trick if the Shenong player uses a Sage to convert a Behemoth. You can then trader the converted Behemoth and get an extra Behemoth in. We'll see how things are going to go. But I think Kavoth here, he's got a lot of experience in this sort of a matchup. I think he's played a lot of the Chinese. He knows exactly what is capable of, what the Chinese are capable of. Rapple, on the other hand, not exactly sure to what extent he knows Kronos. He's mostly, like, we know him as a Norse player, kind of expanded into all the gods, but, you know, everyone has got their, like, way of looking at the game when you come from a certain background. So, for example, Kavoth's way that he looks at this game comes from the Gaia standpoint, right? Where he very economically focused, very, like, defensively focused, and, like, pouncing on the moments where you can pounce. Rapple comes from the Odin side of things, very raid heavy, still has a defensive mindset because Odin has a lot of matchups where you have to play defensive, but still. So we'll see what Rapple's going to do. He does decide to do a little cheeky time shift here on the temple. A bit of he's protecting his base, obviously, here, but we'll see how things are going to change. Kavoth coming in now. Gonna find himself the Shenong's Okra Whip. Drop that into a temple and see how things go. Up to the top side of the map, there is the Canopic Jar of Imseti. Over on this side, we have the Scarab Pendant. This one's going to be getting a little bit of help for the siege weapons. Always nice. Over on this side, we have the Fur of Boit. This one's really, really good for Rapple. If he goes for some hero ideas, like through Hyperion, and then makes a whole bunch of mass heroes, definitely a good idea against Shenong, who is going through Qi Yao. As he gets out his first Yatsa, going to be searching over here. It looks like a second talent center for Kavoth. It will be a second talent center as well for Rapple. No real surprises here. This is pretty much the only way to play this matchup. I mean, you could probably try and go for an all-out rush as the Chronos, but a little bit difficult. The Boobinator. Look, I don't know anything about the tones. Don't say I'm trying to say the tones. I got no idea. An economic guild coming up now. The town center will be finished. There's plenty of boar on this side. Unfortunately for Kavoth, gets a little bit of an unlucky town center, so to speak. There are Rhino in the corner, but his boars are spawned over the other side. And we'll see how it's going to go. Valor's coming through, ready to start eating these boars. The next side of this game is going to go which way? Pretty much, I think Rapple needs to get some sort of hero units out. We see the Yatsa coming around. I mean, he can just defend these with his hero citizens. He's got 3 hero citizens over here. 1 non-hero citizen, but he will have the Valors there for it. Also grabbing himself a pretty early Theft of Fire. And we will see how it's all going to go. There's Yatsa just going to be searching around for potential Oracle snipes, pulling back next to the tower. They're not going to be losing that one anytime soon. Prometheans here trying to just fight this off. There is no Valor at the moment. Is the citizen going to come over and start joining in? 3 seconds until it does come through. And a nice defense thus far, as we do have a military barracks coming up. Meanwhile, on the bottom here, Kavoth just going to be playing for the heroic age, it looks like. Straight away, gets a couple of units out and then pulls back. The other idea here from Kavoth is just to force Rapple to do as much as he possibly can, or to do as much stuff as he can. Meanwhile, more Yarts are coming through here. Let's just roam around the map. Walls coming up all ready to block off this position, getting control of the gold, getting control of this. Random peasant over here. There is a cheeky little wooden gate, so he can do a little bit of a ring around the rosy there. But one idea from Rapple is to sneak through and start time shifting buildings over here to actually get some raids onto villages. Unbeknownst to Kavoth, if he gets in here and drops a military barracks or 2 down, we have got the hero Mermillo ready to push back for the time being. And it's just a sniper villager. Is Kavoth not paying attention there? He's on 2 separate fronts here. A pioneer here to cause some problems. Will he kill the villager? It's not going to be enough. But over on this side, still going to town on these peasants. As Kavoth has to pull back. This is the sort of damage he absolutely needs to hit here. Yatsa coming over to try and defend as these Promethean offsprings coming up to the top side. If we can get a little bit sneakier, it could be good. Random straggler villager just sitting here as the Mermillo misses out on that. But more units now pumping in, ready to push Kavoth away from this hunt. Very, very nice play from the Rapple, figuring out a couple of weaknesses in Kavoth's position. Oh, the Lions getting involved. The Lions say, "Get out of here, villager." Oof. Rapple now clicking up through Rhea. So he's managed to get value out of his army, push Kavoth back into his main base. Even picking villagers off as well. We do have that Rage of Slaughter coming through here for Kavoth as well. As he does start to produce some units. So at the moment, Rappel has found himself with a slight timing advantage. The hero citizens coming over, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for Kavoth, he doesn't dive in on there. He probably would have taken a big beating from those shanks as the Yahtzees come through, snipe down that Promethean so quickly. Meanwhile, a couple units up to the top side, checking things out. Sees the Rhinoceros. Apple sees everything up here, so he can come up there at any point. A couple of citizens up there as well as... They do manage to spot a villager, so first blood there now for Kavoth. As a heroic age comes in, you don't really want to trade those Yahtze, but Shenong is going to be continuously giving more and more powerful myth units out, so this trader is going to be going well. Meanwhile, a palace up in the top corner, Rhea's gift coming through. The question is where to now for the Rappel. Does he go straight to the Mythic Age? He's going to pump some units out and try and put some pressure on. The Yahtzees are searching up here. They don't know what's going on, but they do have their spidey senses tingling. Here's one. These are hero citizens. There is a Valor. He decides to use it. It's a very expensive Valor, though, as Rappel's definitely going to be needing some more oracles out here. But Rappel playing a very, very contained game right now. Very calm, very cool, collected. Yeah, Rush Shot coming in. But the problem here is Rappel is technically on a timer playing as Kronos. He needs to do something. Whether he goes straight to the Mythic Age, tries to get Fire Siphon out. Little snipe on the Oracle. Is Rappel not paying attention? Clicking the Valor on this side, keeping the villagers alive. More importantly, a couple of Behemoth over here. Just saying, excuse you, please stay away from me. And Rappel does decide 5 Contarius is going to be what he wants right now. Walls going up all over the place. As Kavoth is now ready to start pushing forward. Could steal the Tower Will and just run away with it if he wants. He's going to be losing a Behemoth. Not ideal. Does get some resources back for that, though. Mostly you kind of expect infantry here against what the China player, what China is doing. Unless there's like a huge amount of fire archers. In which case you can probably go into some Terma as well. But mostly infantry, destroyer, fanatic, that sort of stuff. We are seeing some destroyers coming out of this position. He's going to be getting himself the Orichalca Mail. I guess one idea here for Rappel would be... As this is a very sad... is that a hero citizen? Oh, it is. Going to be pulling back. I have this feeling these Yahtzees can actually kill that citizen off pretty quickly, but he's going to pull back for the time being. Over onto this side. Already a battle layup. Already the food and the gold ready to go to the Mythic Age. Now, I guess one idea here for Rappel. He didn't go through Hyperion, but... It also makes sense going through Rhea just a little bit less, is to get all of your infantry units, all of your units, especially destroyers, to become heroized to go for your push. Because you play around Fey Beasts. You also play around Shenong's special bonus of all these myth units. And you can actually make that push work without going to the Mythic Age. You're also going to need some range units to deal with a dragon who's not going to be that useful. So just not going to the Mythic Age does make a little bit of sense. As the Fey Beast does get dropped down onto this one. Immediately pulling back. The heroes don't move over there. He's got to get over onto this one. As the Mamilla hero is coming back up. There's so many mid units here for Kavoth at the moment. Rappel not reading this. Not going for the mass heroes. Losing a huge amount of units here. And Kavoth just cleans house. There are a couple of Contarius hitting raids onto Kavoth while this is all going on. But he's just going to turn around and start getting that damage done anyways. Huang Di halfway through. Atlas now pre-queued, but very far away now. As the Arts are going to be searching for more things to kill here. Nice garrison there from Rappel, but it doesn't matter as he loses another citizens. This Kavoth Yatsa will get chased down by the Contarius slowly. Heroized Contarius do make some sense here. So this Terma is feeling very sad about the amount of damage she's doing right now. But with Huang Di coming through, that means Divine Judgment. That means Gilded Shields. A Palace coming up in a 15 favor. 14 favor Valor needing to come down to keep that one alive. Copper armor, copper weapons on the way. And immediately, Imperial Order. Leishu's Silk. Zhuang Yuan's Bloodline. All coming in. Hero Arcus on the way here. We will be seeing a third town center for Rappel. How much does this realistically do? Got 555 HP Yahtzees here. 169 HP Heavy Dower Swordsman. This implode is not going to change the population of Kavoth one iota. The Yahtzees will see the town center coming up. Hero units are coming in here for the Rappel, but is it going to be enough? It's got 170 pop. The Yahtzees walk straight by the town center, but too little too late. Wasn't paying attention there. The dragon gets pulled in. Units retreating away. The behemoths here, not that useful. Trader is available. Rappel charging forward. But he can't do much right now. He's just got a town center up. Champion infantry coming in. Implode to get dropped down. He's still got to get his units in here as well and help clean everything up afterwards. As the Ying Long coming in, Rappel says, I want to join in. Let me come through. The Hero Arcus getting some damage done. Everything blowing out of here. 148 pop now for Kavoth. Wang Zhong is now in. The Hundun gets grabbed here. Is there enough stuff for the Rappel here to hold on? Looks like the answer is yes. The Hero Arcus, however, they are getting brutalized by Wenzhong on the back there. More Yachts are coming in to say, please remove yourself. Military camps getting dropped down. 2 siege crossbows now in to start taking down the town center. Rappel's numbers a little bit low as the Sage managed to also take a Hundun away. The Ying Long very, very healthy at the moment. As Rappel going to be pulling back up to this spot. The double Argus here as well, ready to push forward and try and help here. Now the town center will end up going down. The Hundun swallowed the behemoth, yeah. Huge amount of hero Arcus now in to try and deal with all of this. At the very least, he can get damage onto the Qinglong. 30 favor away from, or not 30 favor, but 79 seconds away from a trader here. As the lightning weapons comes down. Very difficult to actually fight this, but he stuns everything up. As Rappel is getting pushed back. Town Center ends up coming up over here. Gavoth secures his late game at the moment, basically, with that town center. He's got so many gold mines behind it. He could start a trade route if he wants. We are seeing a trade route already started by the Rappel to try and keep his economy going here. But realistically, what Rappel needs to deal with all these Dao Swordsmen is Fnatic. He is making them, but how many palaces does he have? He's only got 2. He's got the fully upgraded Levy plus conscripts to get those Fanatics out, but it's going to take a long time, and I imagine immediately we'll see fire archers coming as a response. A bunch of random villagers grabbing this Ford gold mine as well now that Gavoth has secured the town center. And Rappel's only got 2 gold mines left. He's moving forward to grab this town center. We do see a military camp. Wouldn't be surprised to see a tower coming up here as the villagers to drop this one. Units coming around onto the side as a bit of a distraction. It's normally expand and attack. Or attack and expand. There's a Quaofu coming forward. They do pack a bag of rocks. They don't pack a punch. They bag a bag of rocks, as we do see the trader onto one of those Qinglong. Town center getting targeted down as the Dao swordsmen say, I don't care about the town center. I'm going for yours. The Qinglong, however, coming in with 353 HP, 2 seconds away from finishing the town center. This could be very bad for Gavoth if the town center, if he garrisons into the town center, it'll do huge damage. Rappel pulling back here. He's got a lot of hero citizens. Can he target down the Qinglong? Yes, he can. Trying to repair it up. Meanwhile, up onto this side, the town center goes down. The town center falls on this side as well as Rappel now has to rotate back over here. But the Qinglong now dealt with. The villagers can move back to their gold mine. But these Dao swordsmen are going to run rampage through the main base of the Rappel here. And a really big moo coming in from that what's it called? From that Wenzhong there. That could have been brutal if the Argus actually got its spit off onto all those Dao swordsmen, but not able to do so. The heavy fanatics are going to town here, but does not have enough of them just yet. It's still 210 pop to 210 pop. The town center going to be coming back over onto this spot. Rappel needs to get his back. He's got his Qinglong sitting here, not engaged at all in this fight right now. As the Wenzhong will finally go down, I imagine it's immediately going to get queued back up as soon as Gavoth has got the resources for it. A whole bunch of buildings coming down across the map. Dao swordsman trying to finish off the town center, but it looks like this will get cleaned up. And now the fight back into the middle here. This gold mine is still really, really important for the Rappel. He's finished his gold mine up here. He's grabbing the gold over here. This gold mine's going to be going down. And now Rappel has to bail. He does have that one trade route going, but so too is the trade route started for Gavoth. Not in the best position, but it's going to be good enough. You can get a nice market on the over here all the way to this town center. A little bit dangerous, but very, very good. Now the Dow Swordsman say, I don't mind. Take me out. One dies and the damage goes up in a really big way. 25% extra damage every time one dies. Is it stack? I think it stacks as well, right? Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. 3 seconds. 17.4. And we don't get to see. As Grapple taps out. Not able to quite make it work against the Shenong here. I mean, he had some chances, but the one mistake, the big mistake, was making this attack without basically fully heroizing his army. Because you know that Shenong is going to have a huge amount of myth units. He's got this Gifts of Beast thing just continuing to pump. And, I mean, we know here that Kavoth, he didn't build a single Qualfu. So everything was going in to myth units and techs. Right? He's got 2 Qualfu on the map somewhere. They might have been killed as well. So he's literally got 0 Qualfu and just myth units and techs. He's also floating 104. There's the Qualfu. Myth units and techs. So you need to go into those heroes. But we have Omniscience. Rappel doesn't. He doesn't make the right call. And now he's down 0-2. As Kavoth is showing why he is so feared in this patch right now. Moving to game number 3 here and see if Rappel can bring it back. It is a best of 7. So we'll see how it's going to go. Anyways, let's jump into it. And we're into game number 3. In the left-hand corner of the map. Playing as Poseidon, it's Kavoth. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Odin, his name is the Rappel. And we're now going to be seeing the Rappel in his element, ladies and gentlemen, on his mainest of mains, his Odinist of Odinists, his dearly beloved. And we'll see if we can make it work here on the map Giza. It's a nice 2-town center map for Kavoth, though. He's got a beautiful town center over here with fantastic double rhinos. He couldn't ask for anything better. He's got a gold mine right close to his base here. He can put some buildings up, play defensively, a nice wall here. He could even throw a tower up behind a wall here. And this could be really, really good for him. He can go Ares if he likes. He doesn't know how good it is just yet. He's scouting out. He sees this town center and goes, wow, that one's rubbish. I've seen 0 gold mines. He comes over here. He sees the town center. He sees the zebra. He sees the gold mine. And he goes, ooh. Maybe, just maybe. But Kavoth is going for early pickaxe. And this generally does not mean that he's going for a town center. He might. He can still go for one. It's just going to be delayed. Because it takes a little bit of time for the pickaxe to actually pay itself off. With only 2 villagers gathering gold. It's a little bit of time. Meanwhile, the Rappel looks like he's just opening fairly standardly. He doesn't have a pickaxe. He doesn't have a hand axe. Doesn't want to deal with any of that early centaur shenanigans. So a pretty quick advance time is normally going to be a decent idea. There is a build order that I don't think works with 2 storehouse. If you can share your storehouse on another tree line, you can actually maybe you can. But you can go for like a pickaxe, hand axe super early with Greek and get a ridiculously fast advance time as well behind it all. And the more I think about it, it's like if I'm going to play 1 town center ideas, I don't see any reason to not just do that. Because you're not really slowing yourself down that much and it's going to all pay for itself. But if you are going for a 2 town center idea, then maybe, just maybe, you might want to consider something a little bit different. Meanwhile, the temple is now up for the Rappel. And the big question really here, it's not really going to be a surprise. Rappel's going to go for Freya. The big question is, what way is Kavoth going to take this? There's 2 options. Option number 1 is you're going the Hermes route and you're going to be going for Hippias and a lot of Centaur. And you're trying your best to just take little trades, utilize your health to regen, keep your Hippias alive, and just try and snipe as many units as you possibly can with those Centaur. The other option is to go Ares. 1 town center Ares, Hippias, Hypaspist, and Cyclops. and just call it a day. Build up a big fat army, wander across the map, click Pestilence. We are going to be seeing Hermes here. So this is what Rappel's going to be used to. He knows how to play this. He's been in this matchup many a time. And we'll see if he can execute. Because that's all it comes down to. Goth at the moment does have a hefty amount of villagers on wood. Hefty amount of villagers on gold. He might try and go for a delayed town center here. Because he's going for a late advance. This is very late for Poseidon. The Valkyrie coming through as well. Did Kavoth get hand axe? Let's have a quick look. Yes, he went for both. This is still a late advance even for both hand axe and pickaxe here for Poseidon. But he might still be going for it. He does have to get himself out Atalanta. He's already got the wood. But this does make sense that he's going to stay one town center and just pump units with a bit more economy. Couple of goats getting stolen. Valkyrie in the main base. Does get sent packing. Villagers simply just pulling back. Now getting onto the temple. Ready to start pumping out those bad centaur boys. Does pick up a relic. Text of Imhotep. Going to be able to boost the build gather rate. On the other side, we haven't seen anything coming in. Do have a cheeky little great hunt over here. As Rappel wants to be as close, it looks like, to this town center, just in case Kavoth decides to go for a second town center. But he hasn't noticed just yet. He's seen one stable. He hasn't noticed his two stables. He doesn't know exactly what's coming for him. But raiding cavalry versus Hippias makes sense. Raiding cavalry plus some Herbmen and some Hersir, that's going to be the way to go. A Centaur and Atalanta coming through. Kavoth doesn't really know where to send these guys. He's trying to guess. Does this get spotted? It might not have been spotted by the Rappel. He's coming around the side. He will be able to spot some villagers here. He might be able to get a villager snipe. But Vigfus Hersir is in. Whoop, he is on patrol. Gets a little bit unlucky with where he was, but instant reaction from Rappel there. As Kavoth going to bail on this position now. And raiding cavalry grouping up on this position. And we'll see how things are going to go. Another house coming up for Kavoth over onto this side. Defending this position nicely from raids. Love this positioning here, building these houses all the way back in. There is an opening over here, but he's going to see that for days with the towers. Longhouse coming down for the Rappel. He's now going to be moving out across the map. And both of these players high-fiving each other. A great high five. More units on the back here. This is what Rappel wants here. If he can take a really good fight right now and get a nice collapse in onto these guys, this is going to be brutal for Kavoth. Kavoth really has no business being in the position that he's in right now. Pulling back, these raiding cavalry, waiting, watching. Rappel baiting as hard as he can. He's got himself Thundering Hooves coming in, but it's a ways away. He does manage to catch a little bit out on the retreat, but he doesn't get a surround. But even so, big damage onto these Centaur. This is not HP that he can really afford to lose here as the Atalanta pulling off. Rappel pulls off there as well and says, get away from them. If he can snipe one Centaur, he's going to be really, really happy, but he's not going to be able to. But now with Thundering Hooves in, there is no move speed advantage for Kavoth. Even after Spirited Charge comes in, there's nothing there for him. Onto this side, little bits of damage onto the Atalanta. Just getting it close to going down. The Centaur come through. Doesn't quite manage to snipe the raiding cavalry. It will survive there with just a little bit of HP, sniping down these dudes as well. Forest Fire snipes down that low HP Centaur. Beautiful play, opening up the base as well a little bit. Finishing up on killing these zebra. You might ask, why is Rappel in the middle of a fight killing off the zebra? Reason is he gets favor. And now he can make more Valkyrie. But Kavoth has to sit inside his base now. Centaur, Atalanta coming through. Armory coming up for Kavoth. House coming through. An armory now on the way for the Rapple. The big fat 800 food rhinoceros. Oh, almost takes a villager out, but Rapple is still safe. He's got this all walled off nicely. This isn't finished, but it's totally fine. Kavoth is going to be hiding inside of his base. There is an idea here to try and get to the heroic gauge. Maybe go through Aphrodite to keep yourself alive, and then you can start pumping out Prodromus to deal with all these raiding cavalry a little bit easier. Alternatively, Dionysus, get watchtowers, get crenellations, and just sit here. Could be another idea. As now Pegasus is out. Scardia is pre-queued. Having that for bronze is a good idea. Gonna snipe down these hyenas as well. Getting even more favor in. Rhino on this side going down. Another Rhino over there going down. All the Gazelles on this side also going to be getting cleaned up. Huge amounts of favor for the Rapple. The question is, what does he want to use with it? He's probably going to want to grab himself that technology Winter Harvest when he hits the heroic age. But does he want to get more Valkyrie? He is going up for Dizablot. Meanwhile, the units here for Kavoth say, it's time to go. This is a good timing here, actually. Watchtowers is coming in. Rapple's going heroic age. He's trying to pick villagers off. Getting a little bit of idle time here is fine. Villagers on this gold mine do not belong here. This could be the timing that Kavoth needs. As Rapple has to pull back into his main base. The raiding cavalry coming back. It's 65 military population apiece here, which if I had to guess, I'd say favors Kavoth. But it's incredibly close. These villagers just sneaking back up to the hyena, getting so lucky there. Huge risk from the Rapple, but he manages to pull it off. There's the army for Kavoth going to be coming back in onto this position. Herdman starting to get mixed in. Very, very tense moment here. As Rapple says, all right, if you're going to bring the fight to me, no worries. A couple of Herdmen inside the fight. Getting sniped down by the Centaur is so important here. The Herser chasing it onto the back. The Valkyrie there to hit as well. Ceasefire gets dropped. The heroic age gets hit in. And even with a perfect timing there, Kavoth not able to make it happen. The Valkyrie going to heal everyone up. Herdman coming through. A hill fort can get dropped down. There's not going to be anything on this gold mine that Kavoth can do anymore. But Kavoth is now moved out onto this position. More stables coming up. We do have the Winter Harvest coming through, as well as some Godi to join in to try and help take out those Centaur. There's 49 favor in the bank, so Rapple's got more Valkyrie if he wants. Frost Giants if he wants. House is coming down onto this spot. As Rapple is to be very careful as well, though. More Herdman coming in. He's diving through the Centaur weight. The Hippias Ahiri immediately pulls back on that one. As the wall's onto the back here, making sure everything's very, very safe. Good fundamental play from Kavoth. As the army to move out over onto this spot. Meanwhile, into the main base, it seems Kavoth says it's time to go. This is so dangerous, though. Raiding cavalry moving in onto this spot. A whole bunch of Centaur are in. No crenellations just yet. As Rappel is searching for some stuff. The Herdman coming over here as the Hippias are going to get brought back, expanding out all across this main base, but the villagers managing to garrison back in, taking a huge amount of damage from the town center, but a huge amount of idle time caused. As Kavoth will get back to business as usual. The temple coming back up onto this spot. These Herdmen are waiting in reserve here. Kavoth will not want to fight this. The Herdmen absolutely dominate these sorts of positions. But the Centaur coming through. Good pullback here from Rappel. He has to get out of that position there. Town Center up for the Rappel now. And this does give Kavoth a little bit of room to move here. He's got a military advantage. He's at full pop. He's still in the second age, trying to make things happen here. Those Centaur are scary, but the Goaty are there. Snipes one, pulls back. Heavy raiding cavalry are in. Rappel doesn't really want to fight here, but sniping some units here is completely fine. Kavoth here has to be careful about an engagement. He's just used all the special abilities there from the Centaur. He's going for it. Rappel's going for it here. How are the Herdmen going to actually go here with all of those Centaur trying to fight them in this fight? 4.9k remaining, it looks, for Kavoth. He might be able to break through here. The Herdman's still around as now the Hearse are coming through to zone off. You have to pull back from that. Rappel trying to pump out units. Kavoth still in a good position here. And now Rappel has to pull back. And now he's going to get hit off the gold. What is he thinking? He just dropped the town center. The Herdmen are in. The Goaty are coming through. Those Herdmen do go to town on top of the Hippias. Kavoth still needs to be careful. The Goaty are in. Sniping units. Frost gets dropped down. That's what Kavoth needed. Now Kavoth is going to have himself a bronze to use. However, there is room for 200 favor. How long? 4 minutes plus. But still damage to come through. The Goaty going to snipe down the Centaur on the back. The resupply of Herdmen, raiding cavalry, and everything else going to be coming through. One Hearser to come in onto this spot. It's so hard to micro this sort of situation for the player using the Frost because there's a couple of units that just pop in and start getting damage done. You got a micro on top of them. Very, very challenging. The Goaty immediately targeting down the Centaur. I'm sure Kavoth is just going to pull them back. Huge amounts of damage done onto the Hippias here as they're getting pulled back. Villagers getting dove in onto at this point. The Goaty trying to stay clear of those Hippias here. As he comes through, he snipes another one there. Villagers getting pulled off of the gold mine. No gold income for the time being now for the Rappel. He's actually gold at the top, excuse me. The Herdmen are managing to clean all the Hippias up. The Goaty still enough. Rappel looks to be holding on here. Kavoth losing everything. And Rappel is good to go. 2 town centers, villager lead, tech lead. Gold mine still secured. Villagers out onto the rhinos, onto the gold. And the counter units do manage to pull through here. As Rappel is going full into Herdman. Full into Goaty, Frost Giants. You'd think Kavoth might change unit compositions here, but he's continuing to pump Hippias Centaur. It's now bronze armor to come through. Rappel moving out across the map. The weakness of these Herdmen is their speed. And Kavoth does not need to fight this. The villagers moving down, grabbing the remainder of these hyena, getting the gold mine. A second lure getting dropped into the main base to grab some more chickens there. A little bit more economy. Rappel will have himself another frost here for bronze as well. Most likely. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way there's going to be a bronze coming in anytime soon. The unit's charging forward. Rappel's Herdman will go to town. Good control from Gavoth. So hard to break through that rain of arrows there if the Kipius get controlled well. The Rappel at the moment doesn't really need to do much. He can sit on this 2-town center advantage. He's got Frost for the bronze, so it doesn't matter. Gavoth won't know that. Maybe he will if he's thinking about it, but he might not know that. But if you let the Greek get to the heroic age, then you do have to deal with the Paspis, which can be a difficulty. More population for the Rappel, but similar military difference here. As the Hippias getting cleaned up, chasing these units down. Gavoth still just trying to use that special. Great control from Rappel, pulling the Herdman in onto the front there. The Goatee's trying to get close to the centaur, sniping them down slowly here, but the front line is absolutely melting for Gavoth, as it looks to me like Rappel is going to be pulling away with a somewhat of a victory here, but it seems like Gavoth is still fighting. He's getting up to the top side of the map here. Going for raids. He sees the villagers on this gold mine. A hill fort to come down. The raiding cavalry in hot pursuit here. Rappel's got to pull these away. This is going to be a lot of villager kills. He does notice. He doesn't have himself survival equipment just yet, but it's coming in, and it does come in the nick of time there. Loses a dwarf, but a nice defense. Hill fort to come up means portable rams, Huskal, but most importantly, securing this position. Sniping a couple of centaur in onto this spot. As the units all retreating back into the main base here. Raiding cavalry going down as these guys are going to be pulling back. Walls coming up all over the place here. And now Rappel is saying, alright, if you're not going to fight me, I'm just going to come forward and I'm going to kill your buildings. The Goatee on the back here to take out the centaur. The Herdman to take out the Hippias. Gavoth desperately fighting here to try and pull this game back from the brink. But all of his Hippias dying so quickly to these heavy Herdmen at the moment. Differential in military resource value still seems kind of close. But the centaur dies so quick once the Goatee get onto them. No ballistics in just yet for Rappel, but he's about to have it. As now it's in. And now the movement speed, the dancing from the centaur will get dealt with. Gavoth is holding nicely, however, after all is said and done still. But the constant fighting here can only favor the Norse. 224 favor in the bank. Rappel can now start mixing in more Frost Giants if he wants. Walls coming up all over the map as now Gavoth says, time to push yet again. Shaft mine on the way. Bronze weapons on the way. The Raven gets taken out. Villagers now pulling into the town center. And any sort of attack here to stop the retreat. If you get the Goatee into position, looks like he can't. Still going to be a little bit of damage here. Gavoth is on 3 gold mines. 2 gold mines. Does Rappel know about this? He doesn't know what's in that corner there. He thinks he's got a full map control. I mean, he should know there's a whole bunch of gold mines in the corner because he has 2 there. So he might go and scout for it a little bit later. He's got the Raven. There's the raiding cavalry now getting in there. And he will notice it after all is said and done. Another hill fort coming up into the center of the map to secure the final few gold mines. There's a raiding cavalry run to their deaths right in front of Kavoth here. Kavoth has how many villagers on favor? He's got 19 on favor. I didn't even notice. He got 19 on favor. That's wild. 25 on favor, excuse me. Does he have a second temple? He's got 2 temples. And Kavoth is effectively stuck in the classical age, and Rappel is pre-queuing Tyr. He says, let me at him. The goat, he's sniping all of the center. It took a while, but Rappel does manage to find the dub here. And Kavoth's crazy mass hippiest centaur strategy into pure herdman hero does not end up working out. And we do manage to see Rappel getting on the scoreboard here, as he's now up to 1 game. It's a best of 7, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3:35 a.m. And we got a lot of games to come. Let's get into game number 4. And here we go back into game number 4. In the right-hand corner of the map, we have Kavoth playing his set. And in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Nuwa, we have the Rappel. It's already been a long day, and it feels to me like we're going to be seeing a long series here. Rappel on Nuwa, something that maybe a few weeks ago I might have said, I'm not sure about the Rappel's Chinese. Kind of missing a couple of key elements in it, but a couple of weeks pass, work out a couple of different strats to go for. All of a sudden, everything that makes him so good at this game starts coming through. So we'll see if he's kind of got there at this point. He's looking like he's going for an insanely fast advance time. He's already got the 50 wood, 50 gold. Gonna drop that temple down. He's got himself 1 house up. Just the 1. Probably going to go for this one pretty quickly as well. Meanwhile, on to the other side of the map. Kavoth here. There's one game plan here for Kavoth, and it's very, very strong. First and foremost, you want to be giving yourself a whole bunch of priests for 2 reasons. Well, 1, you want to be converting all the animals on the map for free army. But more importantly, you want to make sure that you're going to be shutting down any sort of myth unit sort of ideas from China. You want to force the China player to have to make a whole bunch of Quaofu. Quaofu are good. It's not a bad thing to spam out the Quaofu, but what is difficult to deal with is mass myth units when you don't have the priests out. But the priests aren't even a bad thing to have out because you get full access to the map and you get all the animals, and that can be really, really strong. Alright, relics on the map. Let's see if anything's going to be playing a little bit of Svadilfari. Oh god, I can't say it. Svadilfari's Sledge for set? That's scary. Is it? I'm going to misremember what the gold cost is. I want to say it's 375 gold. 0 favor. Oof. Over here next, we got the Tower of Cestus. Another one to boost up those towers against the myth units. Always really, really good. Another relic down the bottom here. We got the Cope Edge of Horus. This is going to be really nice to keep away from the set player here. So you can deal with the... So that you can prevent him from dealing with the myth units. Up onto the top side, there's the Nose of the Sphinx. Grabbing that plus Svadilfari Sledge. Let's go. Over here, we got Fetters of Fenrir. Boosting up the villager damage a little bit. And final Bridle of Pegasus. Everyone's favorite scouting relic here. Not really that important for, you know, Egyptian or China, but it's just nice to have. If you get it on, like, Norse, now we're enjoying life. There's a Sky Lantern coming over here. Goth looking like he's going to be going up through Anubis here. And there's the classical age. Hal 2 is in. And the Chongqi is coming through. So this is not going to be any sort of chillin' idea here from the Rappel. I imagine the Rappel actually just going to come over and grab this immediately. One Pioneer trying to harass some villagers. We see a vision coming down. trying to see what's coming his way. The Quaofu hero says, I'm just going to slide over here. Did he notice me? Maybe. There's not really much that Kavoth can do to stop this. He just wants to see what's happening. As the gold about to come through, another Quaofu making its way down to the bottom side of the map. This town center doesn't really grab a whole lot for the Rapple. But we'll see how it's going to go. Settlement coming through. There is also creation to come in, but if the plan is to go for some sort of fast heroic here behind the second town center, then you can drop creation in the heroic age for a bigger resource boost. See a new bites starting to wander around here. Looking for a little something to take out. One pioneer popping through here, and the Plague of Serpents getting dropped. It's going to be a little bit annoying. Simple answer is to just pull off the gold mine and just... villager not going down, almost going down. Yeah, the simple answer is just to pull off the gold mine and just say, all right, I want to grab a gold for a little bit. I'll just clean these up with the town center, and we'll come over here a little bit later. Quaofu hero in. Rock. Throw. No. Scary. Oh, HP villager. It is spotted. You can't, unlike the Yatsu, you can't just kill off a villager if it's running away. The way that the jump works for every unit that jumps is if the unit is moving away from the unit, if the unit is running away from the unit that's jumping, it's going to miss. As the serpents get finished up. I mean, Rapple is happily grabbing this gold mine with one Quaofu here as well. So not a problem. Do we see any excessive amounts of priests getting built? Answer, no. I'm a bit surprised here. This is what I thought was basically standard for set on this map, which is just get yourself 4 or 5 priests and convert the entirety of the map. If your opponent wants to sit in their base and allow you to do this, then great. Take it. We're not seeing that from Kavoth here. He's grabbing Hunt all over the map, enjoying a 2-town center boom fest here. All the animals in the world in the main base as well. And Rapple here is indeed going for the Quaofu spam. Meanwhile, Kavoth says, time to grab some relics. These relics are nice. A little cheeky Svaddle Fiery Sledge, a little cheeky Necropolis to boost the favor income. He's only got the 1 monument at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to drop some more here. There's the crocodile going down. This Pegasus just scouting out. Oh, what's he doing? Why has he got an archery, a machine workshop here? What's happening? Wall's coming up as well. Rapple going to be taking quite a long while to get to the heroic age here. Putting an armory down over onto this side. Wall's coming up as well. Realistically here, Kavoth has got a very simple way to play this. He is actually making things a little bit harder on himself. Making some spearmen. Feeling like he can get some damage done. But these walls shut this kind of spearman idea down pretty quickly. But he might be building them for a different reason. Like trying to secure a middle town center. Going up to 3 town centers or something like that. Buy who don't miss. The buy who miss.
Sure though.
Buy who do miss. Like, actually, maybe they don't. I feel like they don't miss. I feel like they do miss. I feel like they do. It's the same. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they miss. There we go. Don't. Never, ever trust Twitch chat. There's the villagers going down over here. Rapple kind of trying to get this wall up. Nice little movement around here, trying to juke. Oh, and he does get hit there. As the area of effect from that jump was enough to get that one. But nonetheless, Heroic Age is going to be coming in for both players. I think Kavoth cancelled the Spearmen. I could be wrong. I don't see them anywhere. Yeah, I think he was just baiting me. It's like, I'm going to build units. No, he's got 3 Spearmen. Okay. The segment in. Goldman going to be coming through as well. For some reason, Rappel is eating berry bushes when he's got Water Buffalo right next to him. But that's fine. He's also grabbed himself that abundance technology, which gives him 5% extra resources every time he drops them off. There's the Spearmen now making their way down to the bottom side of the map. What can they find is the big question. It's going to be Goldmang. It's going to be Sekhmet. I mean, at the moment, you look at the resources for Kavoth. Tiny amount of villages on wood so he can get himself shaft mine. Huge amount on food. Not many on gold, but he's going to be dropping a Migdol straight away. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just rush straight to the Mythic Age here. I don't see any other... Like, I mean, the way that the Rappel is playing, he's sitting back. I mean, it also looks like Rappel's going to be doing a similar thing here as well. As the Citadel gets dropped. A very, very defensive Migdol here, so this makes some sense. We do have the Earth Wall getting dropped here as well now. See Anubites jumping in over the tree, trying to take out the Earth Wall. You can repair this up. No, you have to wait for it to finish building first. That's the Tower Wu coming over to try and help out. Ballet on the way here. Does manage to keep himself alive. And it kind of looks to me like we are going to be seeing a fast Mythic. Now the question is, what do you do after this? Because if your opponent's also going fast Mythic, can we just tech again? A Chi Wen coming in. Gonna heal up. Look at that armor on this. It doesn't help the crush armor much anymore, I don't think. Huge amounts of hack armor, pierce armor. But Thoth is very much in front here. I think he is going on the bottom towns and a little bit safer. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, Masons coming through. Because you know that Thoth is coming. You absolutely know. The Anubites trying to wander forward here. Kavoth still waiting, watching, dreaming. What's he going to go for? Both players haven't basically not moved across them, like haven't stepped foot outside of their little water position in this one. As the... Whoop! The Tower will try to knock this guy. I don't think he can knock... Can he knock myth units? Yeah, if he's got like less than 6 weight class, it'll knock him. So the myth units doesn't knock at all. Who do I think is stronger in the late game here? I don't know about late game, but it's not going to matter about the late game because this is going to be timing here from Kavoth. Rappel needs to survive it, basically. That's going to be the challenge. Kavoth might just come in and just grab the entirety of the map. Mr. Pegasus coming through. That gets sniped down. Has to wait another minute there for that one to come back up. But Vision coming in. Which one do you meteor? This one? This one. How lucky can you get on a meteor to kill off a Townsend? You're not going to kill off the Ballet. That's getting... Actually, you might. Does this do divine damage? It does do divine damage. And crush. So you might kill off the Ballet. He decides against Meteor. Says, nah. Not today, Sonny Jim. I'm going for someone else. Hooves of the Wind. Coming through. It looks to me like Rappel wants these bad boys. Elite Tiger Cav. He's got conscript ballet soldiers coming in. A couple of White Horse cavalry to come through. They're immediately getting sniped down here. Last stand coming through for Rappel. He's getting up another machine workshop. Pushing up onto this side. Inching out of his base. This is so tense because both players are just kind of sitting there, slowly expanding. Mythic Age creation to come through. Where does he drop it? I don't even know where he dropped it. Am I blind? Hello? Am I blind? There it is. I found it. Mythic Age creation. There's no drop site. Rapple! Drop site! You waited all this time for the 12 clay peasants. It's huge. Put a drop site down. All the camel riders now out. There is a... I don't even know how to say this. Jean Wu. This guy's to help out, but there's going to be so much population deficit here. That being said, Kavoth has to break through the walls. Tiger Cavalry coming in. Tiger Cavalry do beat these camel cavalry. These camel riders. Li Jing also on the way. He can move the Chi Wen over here to support the ballet. He does drop. He does drop the watch image you get on here as we have a meteor getting dropped down. But the forest protection is going to be big. Villagers getting sniped down onto the backside here. And it looks like forest protection not going to be enough here. Rapple losing a couple of those Guaofu. Guaofu also might go down. There's a straight axe cart coming out. Kavoth has found himself a fairly significant advantage as Li Jing coming in. Ready to start getting some big damage done. Apple pulling back underneath the ballet for the time being. Onto the top side here. Scarabs hitting over here. Catapult hitting the temple. And the pain of the Egyptian fast mythic rearing its ugly head here. Third town center up for Kavoth. He can start putting tons of villagers on gold and just pumping Migdols non-stop through the middle of the map if he so chooses. He's already up to iron shields as well. But the Tiger Cav are going to do well here. Gotham might need to move away from these. He might need to move into Spearman or something here. He does have Anubis, so it will help him out a little bit. Farms coming up all over onto this side. Iron armor, fortified town centers coming through. You have to also remember there is still a great flood. But Rapple is out of gold. And this could be where things end for Rapple as he charges forward onto this position. Takes the fight. Great flood. Gets dropped in, sending the camel riders in. There's also the Qing Long here. Unfortunately for Rapple, half the units get stopped there on the water and don't get sent where he wants. He's getting the ballet up behind this. 260 population in for Kavoth at the moment. As the ballet is up. And it looks like the spam from Kavoth is just going to be too much here. He doesn't have any seeds to break down the ballet, but no crenellations in. Villagers trying to shank down. Li Jing getting the stuns, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. 94 pop to 240. 4 town centers to 2 town centers. And Rapple, in that moment, taps out. As Kavoth takes a commanding 3-1 lead in this series. Best of 7, it's first to 4. 1 game from getting to the finals. 1 game from getting to the best of 9. Can Rapple find a way in the next game to keep things competitive? Bring himself back into this. Let's jump into game number 5 and see. Alrighty, game number 5. Match point here for Kavoth. As we spawn in onto the map. Yellow River with Kavoth as the blue Freyr, and Rappel with the red Loki. So the big question right now is going to be, what sort of Loki are we going to see? We saw already one game here today, Soup versus Matrius, where Soup went for an insanely late advance time. He was going early Herser. He got his temple up ridiculously fast. And it was a pretty brutal game. Well played. This next one here, it's a completely different matchup. It's not Odin, it's Freyr. And let's just take a quick look over here. Crazy town center. Huge amount of hunt behind this. A tower blocking this off. Kavoth is going to be salivating at this. Salivating. He sees the town center. He sees a Fort gold mine. Going to be a little bit bugger on that one. Then he sees the back gold mine. He doesn't see the hunt though. Nope, never mind. He's going down there now. He'll see the hunt. Hunt there, and arrows of the Alpha as well, just to add insult to injury, making those buildings getting even more damage. Oh dear. Alrighty. I wish I've got omniscience. I've got no game plan right now for the Rappel that makes any sense right now. The only thing that he can potentially do is a forward temple on this position and just try and hold this while also preventing this from going up. Maybe, just maybe, if it was in here, temple, and he can put heavy pressure over here. Undermine onto the Asgardian Bastion, maybe like getting a nice spy onto some infantry units so you can see where the Asgardian Bastion comes up. That makes some sense. You can undermine an Asgardian Bastion. That could be the way forward, but we're going to be seeing Four City. The final dwarf comes through, and look at this from Kavoth. He's already... It's so dirt cheap. He's already pre-queuing watchtowers. Just so he gets it in as fast as he possibly can. Eye of Horus. On the back there for Rappel. Could be a nice little help for him. Over onto this side, Scales of a Catopple Blast, always nice there as well to boost up the protection against sort of tower hill forts and town centers against myth units. Titan's treasure over here as well, as we do have a spy, not dropped onto the military units, but dropped onto the dwarfs here. So he's not going to be able to see that Asgardian Bastion if Kavoth is going to try and hide it. And Rappel, for the time being, it looks like he is going for a town center. He doesn't even drop a longhouse. He's just going naked, far second town center. You love to see it. The slight weakness to this is that you don't get the barracks up to start spamming more units to get this one up. So it does still take a long time for it to build. But effectively here, Rappel knows he's got to play somewhat a long game. He knows he's got to have an economic advantage. And I guess the game plan for Rappel here is somehow survive the rock giants, because you do have the boosted Herso with Loki as opposed to, say, Thor or Odin. Normally rock giants are the literal rock that breaks the Norse war a little bit. Maybe it's okay here for the Loki. Great Hall coming up. And maybe if he can hold the center as well, Especially with Eye of Horus on the back. Did he spot it? He does see it. So especially with Eye of Horus on the back. Get an extra town center. That's now 16 extra population on 4 town centers, which is a pretty big deal. Might be enough to pull him through here. Now, Eye of Horus is in. An incredibly quick town center from Rappel. Exactly. Yeah, this is really good. Now he's going to try and push forward. We do have a Asgardian Bastion coming up onto the front. This is kind of fine for the Rappel, to be honest. Because what Kavoth is going to do behind this is he's going to get this. He's going to take this. And I guess the scary part here for Rappel is he needs to confirm the town center going up. If he sees the town center going up, he might be able to just grab the middle town center as well as a response to keep himself with a significant economic advantage in this game. But we'll see if that's what he wants to do. There's a lot of wood in the bank. Armory coming up on the front. Still no town center. Like we've already said a million times, Freyr does not really care about the villager differential, but depends on how big it is. And it's looking like it's getting bigger and bigger. Now we are seeing the town center probably coming up here for... No, walls. Kavoth's got no idea what's happening. He's now scouting with the Berserk at the top. Rappel's got his town center. He's booming. Unfortunately for Rappel, he can't see what's happening here. He can't confirm if this is going to be a ram all in or if it's going to be a booming Freyr. But he's up now 7 villagers. Every 18 seconds that passes, he's going to get an extra villager lead, equaling an extra 60 resources a minute more than Kavoth. If you get to the heroic age, then, you know, all the upgrades that come through, they're half price, so it makes up for a little bit of that. But is it going to make up for enough of it? The town center coming down. Rappel can now drop the middle town center if he wants. There's no room here for an Asgardian hill fort ram idea. He's looking to try and get to the heroic age. He's going to be almost 10 villages in front here. In fact, it looks pretty close. 8 villages in front. Nearly 9 villages. 10 villages in front. There you go. He is 10 villages in front. So that's 600 resources a minute. Sniping a Huskell here. Going to be beautiful. Does lose a raiding cavalry for his efforts to the Asgardian hill fort though. Longhouse coming down for the Rappel. Couple of Berserk starting to move forward as the throw and action are in. Sniping a couple of units here is exactly what Rappel needs. Rappel is just going to look for as much containment as he possibly can here. Sniping a Berserk down. And Rappel going to be retreating back. He's got himself the Bragi. Obviously, I'm the greedy one who says maybe go for this town center. But Rappel just wants to get Heroic Age in. And there is an angle here. If he can come up and snipe all of the animals, we're already seeing that happening from Kavoth here. So he's not going to be able to do that himself. But there is an angle here for a huge amount of battle board just to break through this. But Kavoth is, as Kavoth does, he takes that 4 gold mine. He's not making any risks, not taking any risks here. Because he's always got that back gold mine to go towards. So now Rappel has to basically go, I got to wait out this one and this one. Which basically means Kavoth's going to get to the Mythic Age here. We are seeing the town center coming down now for Rappel in the center of the map. Which might mean that Kavoth is going to have to move up to this town center to grab this one. Which potentially Rappel could walk over there and grab it as well. Go 4 town centers versus 2. with the bonus villager advantage that he's had, and the fact he's going to have flaming weapons here, might be a good idea. The raiding cavalry from Kavoth, desperately just trying to see exactly what he's facing here. Is it a one town center all in? No, it's not. He sees it. He confirms it. And now he is going to be racing for this. He's going to have himself Asgardian Bastion to drop down so he can come over here. There is a hill fort coming up for Rappel. Would love to see the hill fort. I mean, I guess defending this town center makes sense, but over on this spot immediately would be amazing. Beautiful. But Kavoth is going to drop a town center. No problems. Asgardian hill fort to come down. Securing this position. Battle Ball raiding cavalry looking to hit the main base here. He's already got himself crenellation, so say goodbye to any sort of attempt to get any sort of damage done here from these raiding cavalry. He will leave the Battle Ball though. Now that's going to start tanking a little bit. Gets close to the other ones and oh god. Thank you for your service, raiding cavalry. You did well, but that was not well enough. And the town center at the top will follow suit after this. There's a Herser coming through, trying to snipe down the Battle Ball. Not going to be able to do so, but the 3 town center Kavoth. This is not quite what I was hoping for Rappel here, because this is basically being like, sure, you're behind a handful of villages, but does this even matter? Is the question. Especially when you get Feast of Renown, you get heavy infantry, you get all this, and then the hill forts are just never going to stop piling up. A dock coming down for Rappel. Another hill fort coming up for Rappel. He's making himself some portable rams. He will have to fight against the Tempest, but do you want to click Tempest when your opponent's also got flaming weapons? I'm not sure, so maybe that's off the cards. Armory. Finishing up over onto this side. There's a raiding cavalry coming around. Looking for something to do here. Nope. Not going to happen there. It says, okay, town center's up. Do we go for the 4th town center? Remember, there is this relic. Right here, Eye of Horus. 4 town centers plus 16 pop total. It's very, very nice. Rappel here is saying, I got to probably do something, no? Hope he picks up the Berserk. Gets sent for a little bit of a trip. Snipes down the Berserkers. Kavoth is still just trying to get a little bit of scouting information in. What's happening here? At the moment, only a handful of Hersa are actually out. There's only the one rock giant here. I mean, Rappel's getting so many more resources than Kavoth. How's the economic upgrades going? Up to irrigation. But he just has to spend so many resources on his technologies that I don't even know. Like, you look at the population, it's pretty close. You look at everything, you look at the resources in the bank. Kavoth's actually in front here. Like, he's legitimately going to the heroic age mythic age before Rappel is. Even though Rappel has been in front the whole game. He did build himself an extra hill fort. Now, these 2 hill forts haven't gone up, but that's about the only thing that Kavoth's behind or like in front on at the moment, so to speak. Falling all coming through. The dwarves getting pulled off of this position. Rappel trying to break through. I don't think he can. He's going to just take that down and say, all right, we'll pull back. And a portable ram going to be going down as the Great Hawk is going to get placed back up. And now Hell queued up. One idea here for the Rapple is to just get himself these upgrades, Masons, so that this Inferno, this explosion coming his way, isn't going to be that big of a deal. Hillfort coming up right in the face here of Kavoth. Kavoth marching forward. Probably a little bit early here for him to be trying this, because he's going to have to wait for Champion. This is the one advantage, I guess, that Rapple has, is that even though he hits the Mythic Age a little bit later, he's going to be able to get those techs in. As the Doctor come up, I'm going to see Yorman Elva spam. Yorman Elvas are pretty nasty. More Hillforts to come down. It's going to be a Hillfort spam. You have to also remember that, well, Kavoth has got himself 2 Asgardian Hillforts, 3 Town Centers, so he's got about 2.4. He's got 2.5 food per second there, so he's a little bit further in front. Well, not as far behind as it looks like. Crenellations coming through now for the Rapple. I still want to see that Masons technology coming in. Walls coming up to the top. As now Kavoth says, it's time to duel. Gets the Yorman Elva out. Rapple pulling back. Healing Spring gets dropped down into the center of the map. Rapple needs to hold this position. Inferno getting dropped in over here, right into the center. Explosion takes down a couple of buildings, but the majority of the units here for Rapple will be still alive. 1 building down. Kavoth trying to get in here. But realistically here, Rapple just wants to hold. There's how many? 7 Goaty. Can the Nidhogg be enough here? He drops it in. Flying it onto the back here. Oop. No. Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go for it? Fafnir goes down. There's a little bit of gold in the bank there. He shoots. He misses. The Hillfort on the back will get up. A huge amount of Rock Giants now starting to come through. It's looking like Rapple is able to hold here. And this Nidhogg is going to go to town on these units, especially if he can get on top of the Thrown Axeman there. Rapple pulling back ever so slightly. Villagers now coming up to the top side of the map as Rapple is just about to get this all sorted. There is going to be, look at this Yorman Elva herding. The villagers might walk straight through all of this stuff here. And maybe after all is said and done, Rapple's map control might just hold. All the upgrades in the world coming through though. Both players at full military. 6.7k, but 6.7k. Fortified town centers here. I think Rapple's missing a house, no? He's missing a house. Hello? Did he get the bug? He's 15. Where's the other house? He should have 16 houses, no? Am I wrong? Oh, it's here. He finishes it up. Okay. It's all good. He's losing houses somewhere, though, as well. No, he still doesn't have the pop. I'm so confused. Fire Giant coming through. The Portable Ram to dive in on this one. The Nidhogg happily flying on top. Full HP. Target down those Thrown Axemen is your best move. This is underneath the Feast of Renown, so there is HP coming back in, but all of those Thrown Axemen getting cleaned up by the Nidhogg here. A Battle Ball spawn, huge. And Kavoth in that moment, after 19 minutes and 33 seconds of turtling, does tap out. And Rapple does manage to contain the beast that is Freyr here. Just barely, it looks like. I mean, you take a look at the statistics here, actually. All resources, he's so far in front. And this is all because of this ridiculously fast town center that Rapple made and Kavoth's inability to scout it early. If he scouts it, he just goes, great, I'll get my town center. He's going to be like 5 villages behind. But he takes it so long, he puts the Asgardian Hillfort down, he puts the walls down, he gets a longhouse, and then he drops the town center. Great play here from Rapple. Still alive in this series. Kavoth's still on match point, though. Kavoth's still on match point. Rappel has got to figure this one out going into the next game. We'll see if he can do it. Let's jump into game number 6. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, moving into game number 6. Still match point for Kavoth as we move into Mediterranean. We've got Zeus in the left here, and on the right-hand corner, we do have the Rappel playing as Gaia. So, Mediterranean. Rappel on Kavoth's main. Kavoth's main. He's stolen it away. He says, this one's for me. Thank you very much. Kavoth, on the other hand, I'm not even sure he got a single... Wait, did he? I don't think he even got a single... A single Atlantean. No, he got Uranus. He did take Uranus. I don't think he's going to pick it, but he took Uranus. So is this going to be the final game, or will Rappel be able to force a game 7? Force Kavoth to stay up till all hours of the night. Gaming. Every kid's dream right now. Al's coming down for Rappel as this game is going to continue along. Now, why Gaia on Mediterranean? He's got 2 or 3 picks left, right? He's got Gaia. He's got Thor. Maybe he's only got 2 picks? I can only remember 2. Gaia and Thor. In fact, I think if Rappel wins this, we will be seeing Kavoth on Uranus. Is that right? I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't remember. So this actually might be must win for Kavoth. Obviously his Uranus is really, really good. But Rappel's Thor is really, really good too. Which is the 2 gods left. Am I wrong? You guys remind me if I'm wrong and I can't remember, because it is 4:45 a.m. at the moment. So let me know if I'm wrong. I'm right? Okay, good. So this might actually be must win for Kavoth. If he doesn't want to have to deal with Thor on Ghostlake, which is going to be a challenge. Gayatri is coming up. Can Rappel do this? He will have Oceanus. This gives him Carnivora. There is a Bolt, however, for the first one. So that first Carnivora doesn't do much for you. Now, is there a strategy here which Rappel can go for to give himself the edge that he got in the last series? Temple coming down for the Rappel. Goats getting sent back home. Whole bunch of relics here. Shimper fingernails. Scales of Acadoplabasts. On the top here, we've got the Scarab Pendant. Boosting up those siege. Wait, does this boost up? Whoa, 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 whoa. Does this boost up these guys? Hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta check this. Oh, it's a siege ship. Never mind. And Task of Dankang to give some pigs. Now, I know that these guys have played quite a lot of Mediterranean in their days, but the question here is, how straight down the line do you want to play this? Obviously, second dock is a must. Do you go for a town center? Do you go for early economic upgrades? There aren't any coming through here for the Rappel. He's advancing pretty quickly. He's got a beautifully well-defended base here. He's going to be dropping the economic guild. Kavoth on the other side. Double storehouse. A bit of a waste of wood at this stage, but it will allow him to start streaming villagers onto this wood line without bumping in. It's a really nice, efficient villagers on this in this one. When you get too many onto one wood line, they can start being a little bit silly. There's hand axe coming through for both players. Final fishing ship in for the Rappel. He wants that beautiful 9. 9 is the magic number. Kavoth on the other hand says, I don't care about your magic number. Let me get 10. He might have overbuilt one by then, but nonetheless. Classical Age in for the Rappel. And the question is now, what do you do? Do you wait? And then spam out ships once you see what your opponents do and counter them? He's getting himself out a second servant here. That's kind of wild. 2 servants. It's expensive. 125 gold, but he's going for it. Fire ships also coming through. I've heard recently that The fire ship is a little bit of an unfortunate unit because one of the downsides of this unit, one of the upsides of the unit is it's ranged. One of the downsides of the unit is that it's only got 80% accuracy. Not only that, it doesn't have ballistics. So you can literally dodge it. As the Caladria here, scouting out, just trying to see what's happening, making sure that Kavoth isn't getting away with anything here. Into the main base, the Minotaur coming. Hero citizens coming over here to start shanking as the citizens getting bashed out. This will be a dead Minotaur as the villagers just pull back into the main base. And this is not going to be that big of a deal here. One headbutt, still pumping ships out. A slight military advantage, it looks like, for Kavoth, but he can't really push forward as both players realize there's no sense in actually attacking here on Mediterranean. You have to fight underneath the docks. It's a big, big boost. Kavoth does say, alright, we'll try and get some pressure on here. Rappel pulling back, garrisoning the fishing ships to help himself out. Carnivora comes down, Bolt immediately onto that one there. Restoration also coming through. As Kavoth says, it's time to duel. One dock getting damaged on the dock over here, also getting damage done as Rappel's ships seemingly getting annihilated. He's trying to heal everything up with the servants, but it's not going to be enough. Kavoth managing to get so many more ships out than Rappel and absolutely cleans house with that restoration. There's the dock for the Rappel. Gonna go down. Citizens now making their way up to the town center. Rappel's already given up on the water here, it looks like, and that's going to be an immediate scout from Kavoth. He knows exactly what's coming. The question is, what do you do now? And he says, not only do I not care you're taking the town center, I'm just going to take my own, and then I'll clean up all your docks. I'll take all the fish. I'll be 2 TC, you'll be 2 TC. And Rappel is going to be in an incredibly tough position here now moving forward. Over here, at least he's going to snipe a Pentaconta. There's still... Oh god, as the Minotaur comes through. No hero citizens at the moment. There is the Caladria, but it gets sniped down by the Jason beautifully there. Good control from Rappel. The town center is 4 seconds away. Looks like he will be losing a citizen, but he gets the town center up. The town center for Kavoth is also going to be up here as well. This Rappel's dock. Going to be falling over here. Pentacontra managed to clean everything up. One dock remaining. Rappel on the forward gold mine already. Classic. Always going forward. Never grabs that back safe one. Always starts on the front and deals with it then. Rappel at this point, he's got one plan and one idea really only. If he can push forward, break through this, he's got a shot. He's got to get some villager kills. Fishing ships going down. We are starting to see the docks producing some fish for Kavoth as well. There's the final dock over here looking like it's going to be going down, and Rappel doesn't even say, let me try and just force a little bit more out here. You can always just come back and drop 3 docks down and then go for a huge amount of, I don't know, Nereids or something. As the Heracles sees the Scarab Pen and says, I'll take that one, thank you very much. A couple of units now spotting the hoplites that are out. Stray villager, not able to get sniped down. We are seeing the frontline heroics tech to come through. Rappel loves going for the hero Murmillos. Boost them up in a really, really big way. He does have some back Aurochs over here. Does he know about these? He does. So he's going to be able to move over and eat those, no problems. As Kavoth moving around to the right-hand corner, dropping the dock. And Rappel just pulls back. heroizing some units. Having to sit underneath the lush. It's the army for Kavoth just searching for a little something to do here. The units here for Rappel coming up. Will he spot this? He does spot the army, but the army is too powerful here for him even to deal with. Carnivora gets dropped down. A couple of Terma trying to snipe down this. He's trying to snipe out the Carabalis to back onto the healing of the lush. Not dodging those Toxotes as it does end up going down. The Heracles kills off the Carnivora. And Rappel has to pull back underneath this town center. Another counter barracks coming through for the Rappel. Little bits of damage there from the Caraballister as he's going to be scooting away, but once he gets caught out here, he's going to lose it. He tries to pull it back. If he goes into box formation or something, he can get it to safety, but even so, Town Center going to be doing a huge amount of damage now. The Terma trying to get it onto the back of those Toxotes, doing a good job there as the Murmillos are frontlining. Kavoth is just like, I got so much economy. Look at him. Look at the spam he's going for here, but I think potentially Rappel might... No, I don't even know if he's holding. He's got to pull back. He can garrison into the town center, but then the hoplites can just start going after that. As the villagers coming over to start helping out, shanking down the hoplites. But Kavoth can just sit here and just continue getting damage done. The citizen pulling back as well. Everyone into the town center. Loses one citizen. I don't even know what that was. Seems like... Oh, over here. It was an attempt at a dock with a couple of fire ships to come through. Villagers back onto the wood line. Goth sniping an Oracle here. Caraballister coming through. Some farms coming up as a forward archery range coming through. This is interesting because it takes the targeting of the town center. So now you have to focus fire away from it every time the units come through. There's a little bit of damage coming onto this one. A couple of fire ships do come out. But the trireme here should be enough help. There's a Gaia Forest coming up trying to hold onto this spot. Rappel doing his best to try and micro away from here. Military Academy coming through. There's a fire ship. Will end up falling. Over onto the bottom side here. The hoplites charging into the main base. He can just take out the town center now. He's got so many hoplites. He snipes a villager. Gets a second one as well. Going after more citizens here. And Rappel in the 13 minutes does actually throw in the towel as Kavoth manages to take the series in 6 games with some incredibly solid Zeus play in this final one. Rappel made it competitive, but was not able to force the game 7 here on Mediterranean. And we do have ourselves our first grand finalist. This was the winners finals, which means now Kavoth gets to rest easy in knowing that he doesn't have to go through the loser's gauntlet. However, the next task is greater than none before, which is the best of 9 coming for the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. If you are, make sure you hit the follow button, subscribe button, and all the other good stuff. Also, a huge shout out to Yo Desla for making it happen. An absolutely monumental stream here today. Hope you guys enjoyed. GG's to Kavoth. And we'll see ya next weekend with some more shenanigans. Peace.